Hi everyone, this is Eldad Amara, your host. I'm going to jump straight into this video. I've done 2 videos already on music and music frequency and how music can affect our emotional, psychological and physical health. I looked particularly at gangster rap and how gangster rap has really changed the hip-hop industry since around about 1985. I'm not going to go back over all of that stuff again. If you want to know more about what I've done in my videos, you need to go and watch those other videos that I've done. Let me just say this, that the frequency in music used to be played at 432 Hertz, which is considered to be in harmony with the Earth's rhythm and the Earth's beat. But in 1953, all musical instruments in the West were tuned to 440 Hertz. That's 440 vibrations per second. And a lot of people have been saying that this is kind of making people off key. Okay? It's affecting people's mental and psychological health. And it is not a natural rhythm. The more natural rhythm is at 432 Hertz. Now, I don't know if you've ever been to a rave. And when I say rave, I'll include drum and bass and jungle. Also techno in that ilk. When you go to a nightclub and you listen to drum and bass, man, the beat is going so fast. It's hard to keep up with it. It's hard to keep up with it. 160 BPM, that's 160 beats per minute. That's twice as fast as what music used to play at. Whereas before, music was playing somewhere around about 60 to 80 beats per minute. And now, you got young people dancing to music 160 BPM. That's fast. And now the frequency of the music is also changed as well. On top of that, now when you're in a nightclub and you can hear this drum and bass, man, it's so energetic. It is so energetic. It's so fast, and you can hear this sub bass as well, and this boom 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 boom. Boom 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 boom. Sometimes music can have such an effect on us, and we don't even realize it. Sometimes it can go right into your subconscious. Have you ever listened to a song and you can't even stand it? Alright, and the melody just keeps going round and round in your head. Next minute you're singing the song. You sort of think, you catch yourself singing a song, you think, oh a minute, I can't stand that song. Why am I singing this song? That's because the music is going into your subconscious mind. Okay? Sometimes you're not always listening to the music. Sometimes it might be a fact that you're half asleep, or you're sleeping, you listen to music and it's going into your subconscious. I found myself sometimes listening to music and I can't stand it. I can't stand the music, but when am I then singing the song? It's gone into my subconscious. Yeah? We should never underestimate just how powerful music is. I'm going to read something out. Music is so powerful, trust me, because it goes right into your subconscious and you don't even realize it some of the times. Check this. I don't think we should underestimate the power of music, because music touches the limbic system, or the emotional system of our brain, which actually, though slower than other parts, can overwhelm all of the other parts. Think about how we lose our mind when we fall in love, and we literally do, because of the power of the emotion. So you cannot underestimate the power of music. You know, I was in Brazil going back a few years ago, and I was sat near the front of the stage, and there was a woman on the stage, and she had a pot on a burning fire, and there was someone drumming behind her. Alright? And she was spinning around and around and around on the stage for about 5 minutes until she went into a redundant state. She went to this redundant state. And then she picked up the pot with her bare hands. I'm telling you, I'm sat there with my partner and we can see this. I'm literally about 8 feet away from this woman. She picks up the pot and then she starts walking around the stage with the pot in her hand. And then she puts the pot back down onto the fire. And she kind of comes out this redundant state, back to normal. And there was nothing at all wrong with her. Her hands, there was no burn marks, no scars, nothing. That's how powerful music can be. You ever been to a blues? Blues, we call it shebeens in Jamaica, okay? And you're standing in a blues, and you can feel the bass pumping on you. You can feel the bass pumping on your chest, man. It feels like wind pumping in your face, yeah? And you're getting into this music. And it makes you feel in a certain way. Sometimes if a man steps on your shoe, you want to bang him out or something. Yeah, that's just how powerful music can be. There's a film by Denzel Washington, and it's called The Fallen. It was made about 1988. Alright, he goes to prison and he watches somebody who's a serial killer being executed. And then afterwards, a bunch of copycat killing starts happening. And this film's got to do with basically bad spirits getting into people, and then people ended up committing murder. Now, you can have such things like walk-ins. This is where evil spirits can get into you, okay, through things like music. We underestimate just how powerful music is. Now, what I'm trying to say is, the film by Denzel Washington, The Fallen, you can get into such a redundant state and lower your frequency, and then next thing, some evil spirit gets into you. And you can have that through music as well, where some evil entity gets into you. Music is extremely powerful. That's why you hear certain types of music being played in certain types of rituals and festivals, because it is extremely powerful. Now, in the black ghettos, many black ghettos, I'm not just talking about America, I'm talking around the world, when people listen to hip hop and to this gangster rap, because it's changed a lot since the 1980s, yeah, the early 80s, where it was more about harmony, peace, love, and people talking about their personal problems and the problems of the ghetto. Now you got gangster rap glorifying things like violence, drugs, okay, slating women and all that. So the music has changed, and not only just the music, but the frequency and the words in the music. That's why a lot of these industries now, the music industry, have cottoned on to this. The music industry and the private prison service have started to work hand in hand with each other and putting out a lot of this gangster rap music. Next minute you're getting artists nobody's ever heard of before in gangster rap. Nobody's ever heard of some of these rappers, right? But the music industry puts them out there and puts out this negative rap music which carries a certain frequency. As I was saying before, music goes right into your subconscious sometimes, and sometimes you might not be aware of this. There's a guy, and his name is, a rapper, and his name is Extension. That's Extension, that's XXXTENTACION. XXXTENTACION. Listen, this is what he says about music. This is what Echelons says. Music is frequency programming. What frequency are you being fed? If I play with those frequencies right, I can target certain parts of the mind. I can target the frequency to certain parts of the mind. If I ask you to astral project, or if I want you to go to sleep, or if I want you to go into a meditative state, I can make my music do that. That is powerful. That is really powerful. We see we got all these different emotions, and some musicians are aware of it. And believe you me, the music industry too, they are very, very aware of this. Okay? We have different emotional frequencies. Check this out. Shame has a frequency of 20 hertz. Fear has a frequency of 100 hertz. Anger has a frequency of 150 hertz. Courage has a frequency of 200 hertz. Peace, 600 hertz. Enlightenment has a frequency of 700 hertz. Acceptance, 350 hertz. So, if you wanted to catch somebody on a lower vibrational frequency, on something like fear or shame, you just have to play on that lower frequency, and it will affect a person's behavior. It will affect their emotions. We know that we have different music for different types of occasions and for different types of emotions. You know, when you're feeling sad, you might want to listen to maybe soul music or country and western or something like that. If you're in an amorous mood and you're with your partner and you feel quite romantic, you might want to listen to a little bit of R&B or a little bit of soul music, because it kind of puts you in that kind of mood, makes you feel amorous. You might want it to make you feel nice and sexy, yeah, get you in that mood. Come on, baby, yeah, light my fire. That kind of thing. So music is extremely powerful. And now we've got a lot of instruments, and they're synthetic. They're not like naturally made instruments. They've been sampled from natural instruments and put onto things like samplers and put onto things like keyboards. So you can have a saxophone on a keyboard. It's not a proper saxophone. It's been a sampled saxophone. You can have sampled strings, sampled drums, sampled synthesizer, and all of that kind of thing. And now you got drum machines. So the music now has become much more synthetic. This is what author David Eitz has to say about music and frequency. Check this out. They can play across a community these frequencies without anyone knowing. And it starts to have an effect. And it starts to build rage. It starts to build anger. And people might not realize why they're feeling it, but they start to feel it. And then what they do is they trigger that with an event. Hate is a frequency, and it's different to love. When you are in a room and there's a lot of aggression, conflict, hatred, you feel it. What do people say? You can cut the atmosphere with a knife in there. That is because the frequencies of hate and conflict have been so generated that they've changed the electromagnetic frequency field in that room. Powerful. That they've changed the electromagnetic frequency in that room. The music industry, they know about this. Some musicians know about this, how frequency can alter your state of being, your state of consciousness. And just like I gave you the example of a woman I saw in Brazil picking up a pot with her bare hands, which was really hot, she put herself into such a state of redundancy, her eyes went to the back of her head. Next minute, she just picked up this pot and was walking around with it. Then she put the pots back down and come back out of this trance-like state. Sex and music kind of go together as well. If you look at a lot of adverts on the TV, right, they use a lot of sexual connotations and music together. It is extremely powerful. As I say again, you can have certain rituals and certain events, and then you have certain types of music being played at these events. You check the Nazi Party back in the days of Hitler. They had music playing. They had these big screens with images. Why do you think that was? Why do you think that was? They know about the power of music and how it affects the emotions. There's something called a Mozart effect. Now, when you play classical music, it helps the intellect. It helps students improve their grades. There's something about that type of music. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you. Eldad Amara. I'm going to go off now. I'm going to try and find some nice, sexy R&B music because I'm feeling in that mood for some of that. Got to go find myself a partner as well. Thank you.